Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Good people. Good
What up?
What it do. Positive energy and good vibrations. You know what it is. It's RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman. And this is the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Yo, TR, say what up to our good people, man.
What's up to our good people? Listen, we a couple of days, but we ain't $1 short, y'all. We just a couple of days late. So, listen, we are imperfect fathers, man. We got families, we got stuff going on. So we still bringing out an episode nonetheless. So, and we're going to make it quick because tonight is the start of the finals. So
yeah. We can't be on here.
We're gonna whoop who ass we need to whoop tonight so we can go watch somebody get their ass whooped. That's what it is.
Indeed. Yo, so, around here, guys, we got a protocol. We got to follow that protocol no matter how fast or how quick we do move around here. We got something we got to do. So with that being said, we got to pay the bills and talk to the Father. But in not that order, we're going to talk to the Father and then pay the bills. So with that being said, Father God, thank you again for another opportunity to be on this platform. Thank you for another opportunity to be a man in this world. Thank you for another opportunity to be a father. Right now, God, we ask you in this moment to look over us as we go across the airwaves to be an encouragement and blessing and also a light to these men in the world right now in this tough world that we live in, and to be an inspiration to fathers to be the best versions of ourselves. So God, right now in this moment, give us the grace and the space we need to be who we are and do it the way that you have us do it. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
And Heavenly Father, I ask that you touch Roderick Dockery, because like 2 or 3 weeks ago, he said he was going to let me pray, and it still hasn't happened yet. So I guess he's I don't want to call him a liar, good Lord. I just want to say he's a fibber. He is an untruth teller, Heavenly Father. He is his tongue does one thing and his mind does another, Heavenly Father. So I just ask that you touch my cousin.
Oh, yo, I've never been to a place where they steal a prayer. I've never been to a place.
Well, you ain't never heard of PS. You never heard of a postscript on a prayer. PS.
PS. Heavenly Father, listen. We'll talk about this some more later.
PS. Good Lord, my cousin is full of bull crap.
Yo, listen, and that right there, God, is why I want to talk to you on the platform. That right there.
You said I could talk to God any other time, just not on the Imperfect Fathers podcast.
Yeah, any other time you want, just not in this hour of the day. Just not this hour.
I'm gonna tell you what that sounds like. You know what that sounds like?
What's that?
Sounds like God.
Look at that. God didn't want you to say whatever you was about to say because it froze your behind. Whatever you was about to say just now, God was not pleased with a young king. So I'm going to remove you off the screen until you get your life together. See, that right there, what happens with the power of prayer. You don't play with God, y'all. Like, that was a real-time lesson. You don't want to play with God because whatever Troyce was about to say, God stopped it real quick. So
you did.
Whatever y'all doing out there,
my screen started spinning. God didn't want me to know that y'all in cahoots and that you got a paid sponsorship through the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's all right.
Yeah, listen. I've been paid up with that man since I was a child, man. I love my man upstairs. So we talk about paying these bills around here. Let's talk about it right quick, guys. Listen, for all your music needs, the guys that keeps the light on around here and the bills paid is some guys over at Now or Never Entertainment. A phenomenal individual that makes beautiful music for any kind of genre, whether it be hip hop, R&B, gospel, neo soul, you name it, country, even down to honky tonk. Tell him I said it. But check this out. Tell him I said it. But check this out. If you use the word imperfect, he'll definitely give you 50% off on any beat in the beat store. So use that, guys. Shop smart, shop black, shop It's Now or Never Entertainment, and let him know that we sent you from the Perfect Fathers podcast. And for our other paid sponsor of this beautiful podcast, Cassie's Classic Designs, right? So this is a throwback t-shirt from the beginning of our episodes of our podcast. And behind me is a cups and some signs all product of Cassie's Classic Design. So if you have any kind of thing that you need printed on clothes, socks, signs, designs, even drawers, she can print it. Let you know right now. She's on Instagram. If you are in Instagram like everybody else, it's Cassie's_Classic Design. And if you're not on Instagram for whatever reason, get at her directly at Gmail, Cassie'sClassicDesign@gmail.com. Now, normally, y'all.
Just so y'all know, this is not a Cassie Classic Design. This is my company doesn't necessarily support the views and opinions of the Imperfect Fathers podcast. So if one of y'all get cussed the fuck out tonight on here, I don't want you calling my company talking shit. So duct tape is good for everything.
Yeah. It's not gonna be an if tonight because there's some people that I'm going to speak in other words very negatively to because they deserve it. But before we get to that point though, what I want to do and talking about tonight is I normally tell Troy to do his job, but we didn't have a moment, and this week I had so much to talk about. But the first and foremost thing about this week's podcast I want to talk about is our young queen, right? Sha'Carri Robbins, I believe her last name is, the young track star, the 21-year-old track star, y'all. Now, I don't know if you've heard, if you haven't heard, our young queen, 21-year-old, she's on the national stage to do some really big things in the track and field world. And as of late, she has been caught, right, smoking marijuana.
But she tested positive. She didn't get caught smoking.
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. She tested positive for the THC. Absolutely, yes, she did. But she did not get caught smoking. Absolutely, good job, Troy. Because somebody will be out there. Oh my God, no, she didn't. So I appreciate that. Yeah, she definitely was caught with THC in her system, and just I had the opportunity to go in a few of the blog sites, and I normally don't do this. You know what I'm saying? Because number one, I'm not a really big reader. I don't, if the thing doesn't pertain to me or my money, I'm not really trying to read it. So this day I happened to go into the shade room, right? And of all places I go to, right, to read something. I go to the shade room to read, and I read the comments up under the post concerning the young queen. And at first it was bothering me, right? Because I was like, oh, these people are terrible. Like they talking down this 21-year-old. Yeah, she made a mistake. She has to pay for her mistakes, absolutely. But you shouldn't be talking about her the way we're talking about her in these comments, like derogatory, speaking about her, who she is, her life, her experiences. You don't know this child. And then what really made me mad was when I started going back in the comments after I read just the first couple, I started going back into the comments and seeing who were saying the thing that they were saying. And 90% of the people that were talking bad about this child looked like me and you, Troy. And it had me really messed up in my head. And I'm like, yo, we are so quick to judge somebody, but so slow to love on somebody. Like Absolutely. As soon as we get an opportunity to tear somebody down or jump on them, this is what we do. And we love to do it on a public setting for some reason. And it's starting to make me mad. Like, to be honest with you, Troy, it's starting to really aggravate me because it's like, yo, first of all, this is a 21-year-old baby. Yes, she's on a public stage right now. And yes, absolutely, everything she's done is going to be scrutinized because of where she's at. And I understand that. And I guarantee so does she. But let's talk about the backstory a little bit. This 21-year-old girl who really wasn't, as the media is saying, because obviously I don't know her personally, just lost her mother. Like, I haven't had the experience of losing a parent of that sort yet, but I don't know what that feels. But I know it must be terrible to lose your mama. That has to be one of the worst things in the world to have to go through, and to be 21 at it, right? And then to have the weight of the world that she has now currently on her shoulders by being the track star that she is. I just think myself personally, we got to start doing a better job of showing a little bit more love and compassion instead of being so quick to judge and point fingers at somebody.
I would agree with that, right? I agree with you 100% there. People use the internet as a platform, to hide behind. They thumb gangsters, right?
Right.
They thumbs writing checks they asses can't cash.
On God.
So I definitely have a problem with that. I think, anybody, and I don't really care what the color of your skin is, whether it's body shaming, racism, or whatever it is, don't use the internet as a platform to tear somebody down. And more importantly, especially when the people look like you and me, because we got enough people in this world, in this country, that do a phenomenal job at doing that already.
Right.
Now, what I will say is I listened to her interview and she said, people are judging me or whatever. And what I would say to this sister is we have to be accountable for our actions.
Right. Absolutely. 100%.
She knows as an Olympian, you are going to get tested.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I get it. She was in a place of hurt. She was using, trying to find something to dull the senses, to dull that feeling she was feeling. I've never lost a parent either, but I lost my grandmother. She died in my arms. And she was the woman who raised me from birth. She brought me home from the hospital and she died in my arms as a result of an asthma attack, which turned into cardiac arrest. So I know what wanting to do something to dull your senses feels like, whether it's drinking, whether it's smoking weed, whether it's sex, whatever it is. However, I am the average person. I am not on a world stage.
Mm-hmm.
So there comes a certain level of responsibility with that says, listen, you're going to be tested. So for me, she had an opportunity to come out and say, and again, I don't know whether she said it or not. Listen, I might test positive for marijuana. I smoke some weed.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why I did it. It might not change the fact, but at least she got out in front of it and she owned it, right? Because at the end of the day, Doc, you can't go out and be like, oh my God, I lost my mother, I lost my father. I'm in such a world of hurt. I went outside and shot some rounds off in the air and somebody accidentally got killed and you say I was in pain, right? We can't do that. We have to take responsibility. And more importantly, we have to look at it and say, how do I responsibly deal with my pain?
Right.
Because we have all dealt with our hurt and our anguish and our pain irresponsibly.
Absolutely.
We have all done
it. And that's what I'm getting at, Troy. We have all been there. And this is what I'm saying. More so about how we discipline each other in the public eye is what I'm concerned about.
Absolutely.
It's sickening when I see us as a people pulling our character apart because of a choice and decision we made in a space of anguish and pain, whereby the same person, if you was in that space, you'd probably do 10 times worse, right? And then we go in public destroying our character and that person that literally should be held up right now, right? Literally in the public eye should be loved on right now. Now, behind closed doors, amongst her people, her grandmother, her aunts, and uncles, absolutely. She should be spoken to in a way that she should feel it, that she should know she let something slip past her right now. But guess what? We also forgetting this child is 21 years old and is doing something phenomenal that people of all ages haven't even seen yet. So if this is right now that what she has to go through to get to where she's supposed to be, this is her journey. This is her story. And we have no right. I don't give a damn who you are. We have no right to pull her down, to try to shame her because she's young and made a mistake. At the end of the day, yeah, she knew what she was doing. Nobody's saying that she was dumb or she didn't understand what was going on. But guess what? She made a decision. And she stuck with that decision. And that says a lot more than most of y'all out there listening to the podcast. A lot of y'all out there sit back and wait for other people to make decisions for you. She made one. She's living with the consequences of it. Can you stay the same for yourself?
Yeah.
I'm so sick and tired of everybody out there just pointing fingers, man. Stop pointing fingers and realize that you point one finger and there's 4 pointing back at you. Stop pointing fingers at yourself.
And that's usually what it is, right? People, again, I can't say this enough. And again, I've never achieved that level of fame to where I let someone's comments bother me, right? Or enough people have commented on it. So I'm certainly praying to the good Lord Jesus Christ, the one that you talk to that you won't let me pray to. I'm praying to him that he allows us to achieve that level of fame where people talk shit about us. Because I want people to come talk shit about us. Because woo,
yo, you know what's so crazy, Troy? It's crazy because like now, like and this is, and anybody knows me, especially right now in my space of life, is that I'm not saying it's to brag, but I've grown my platform to a certain level now to is like I don't really know who's all is following me, right? So it's like people say things now to me, and it's just like I had a piece of viral content go viral. I had 3.7 million views, and you just be shocked to seeing how many ignorant people could find something that a piece of content that I created that has no negativity in it, and still find a way to try to be derogatory. It's crazy.
So hold on. So what you're trying to tell me is that you famous outside of this podcast?
I wouldn't say famous.
Can I get your autograph?
so you get some money now early, so you can get it early. Yo, this is how family do, y'all. Y'all see this? This is how family do.
Can you pinch my nipple so I can sue you later?
I'm out of here. He's got to go. Even though it's just me and him way of talking by ourselves, I still got to toss him for asking me to twist his nipple. He got to go for that. You got to go out of here for that.
Nah, man. I think, Doc, so I think it's important that brothers like you and me, because I don't go on the social media sites and post comments.
Right.
I do post a lot of comments on porn sites. I do that, but I don't. That's not hurting nobody.
He got his duct tape over his tying up his shirt right now.
That's why there's duct tape over my company name. I don't, but I don't go on social media and really I don't really read comments on sites either. Right? I don't care whether it's World Star Hip Hop. I don't care whether it is, the Shade Room. I don't care whether it's Twitter. I don't read comments. I read the article, and from there I form my own opinion, and I talk about it amongst my friends. I talk about it amongst minds that want to lift people up. Right. Whether it's in a group chat with, the rest of the fathers from the Imperfect Father podcast or some of the other, chains that I belong to. What someone else says about you or about anybody else, about Bill Cosby, and we're going to talk about Brother Bill in a minute too.
I do. Uncle Bill, welcome home, King.
Hold on. So listen, to our young black queen, let me just say, sister, if you get a chance to see this and you get a chance to watch this, I support you. I love you. They hating on you because you broke world records. They slugs. They nasty. They filthy. They don't know how to see you as a sister, as a young black queen, what you have the potential to do to carry people, to mentor people, to train people, to be as great as you are, to give a little ounce of yourself to someone. Right? Those negative comments might prevent her from giving herself to someone to change their lives. So be the life changer that you are. Be the life changer that you are.
That right there, Troy, that you said to her just now is what, like you said, we should be putting in the comments, bro. Because it's sad to say, but negativity is always drowning out positivity because there's so much of it. And then after a while, our muscles get tired because we don't want to continue to go through that fight. But at the end of the day, it's like we got to keep fighting for this fight of positivity and doing things the right way. Because like I said before, hear me good. I'm not saying that she does not deserve to feel consequences for her actions. Absolutely, everyone on this planet deserves to face the consequences of their actions. But what I'm saying is, there's a way to do it within love, right? There's a way to do it with compassion. And it's also a way to do it where she's not losing her dignity. And it's also a way to do it where you're not judging her character and talking down about this child. Because at the end of the day, we don't realize, and this is why I take this platform so serious and I watch what I say across it purposely, because what we don't realize is that things are recorded, right? And as long as the internet is what it is, it's going to be here for as long as the internet is going to be here. So long after we close our eyes, if things go to where they're going, this content will still be here. So that means my children in the next 15 to 20 years will be able to understand and cognitively hear me, what I'm saying, and try to and walk in my shoes and watch my content. And that's my children have to come behind and see. So it's not just that I'm just saying being on these platforms because I have nothing better to do. I know that this is going to last time. So what we have to do, especially people in this media, is watch our mouth and watch how we talk to each other. Because once it's recorded, once it's in the atmosphere, in the cloud, it's out there.
Well, I hope your kids don't ever have to review your search history on your computer. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't hit the button. Don't hit the button. I seen you. I seen your finger creeping. Seen your finger creeping toward the button.
So, yo, you see how that right there proves that Troy's one of them badass kids, because he even knows the signs and symptoms when he's about to get disciplined. Yo, man. Yo.
So
what you
listen,
got about Bill, man? Talk about Bill, man, because
Bill Cosby's out of jail. I got some mixed emotions about this, and I'm gonna tell you
why you got mixed emotions about my man Bill being home.
So I'm gonna tell you why. One, I don't remember who the comedian was that said OJ did it, right? I don't remember who said that.
It was Cedric Entertainer.
Right. Okay. OJ did it,
and
so did Bill. OJ did it, and so did Bill.
Hey, I don't share the same sentiment, but I'm gonna let you live.
But hold on. Where there's smoke, there's fire. But let me just say this. I'm gonna tell you why I feel conflicted about it. Because Bill getting out of prison for being wrongly convicted is a win for all of our Black brothers who have been wrongly convicted for bullshit, who are still locked up today, who are suffering the injustice of our criminal justice system. Okay. So it might seem like it's a slanted win. It's a it's a misconstrued win. It's a false win, right? But it's a win nonetheless for all of our brothers that have been falsely convicted. True. On the other side of this is all of these women didn't come forward and accuse him of the things that he did if some of it wasn't true. Now, I believe he did it. I'm not saying I believe who he did it to. I believe he did it. He settled out of court for an undisclosed amount of money that said, listen, I gave her pills, we had drinks, we had sex. There was no admission of guilt, because when you settle out of court for an undisclosed amount, you're saying, listen, I'm settling to make this go away. There's no admission of guilt, right? Which in some cases is an admission of guilt. But our justice system, right? So we can't, as Black people or anybody, say, oh, the justice system works here, but it doesn't work here, because we've seen the justice system fail our Black people. And we've seen the justice system work for Black people and white people. We've also seen it fail white people. So in this particular case, listen, the Supreme Court said, I don't think it has shit to do with the fact that he has money. The Supreme Court said, listen, maybe you telling me some judges got paid off? Maybe, maybe not. But the point of the matter is this: it worked. So we can't be upset when it works for some and not. People will always say, well, it works better when you got money. Maybe, maybe not. Listen, should he be a free man based on being wrongly convicted? Yes. Should he be a free man based on the shit that he did? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Because I know sisters that have been molested, raped. Men who have been molested and raped.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Bill's a motherfucking rapist.
Hey, my thing is this. You hit some very valid points, and you hit some also points that we don't know if it's valid or not, right? You
My
said
opinion.
right, but you said that where there's smoke, there's fire. Let's also not forget that this all came about when this man was about to make one of the biggest power moves in national television history.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This didn't just come about because his name is Bill Cosby and he was minding his business and eating mad Jello pudding. Like that was this happened because of that. No. And all these women, right? All these women that came about out of nowhere didn't just come about because Bill drugged them years ago. Like yonder years ago. Because even the settlements that he made, the disclosed amounts, undisclosed amount that happened to be disclosed at some points was chump change. That wouldn't have lasted money to last past a year, even in those times when the money was given out. So my thing is this man has been defamed all because he made a power move that they didn't want him to make. Because guarantee you, if he did not try to go buy NBC, this would have never been an issue. This would have never came to light. This would have never, now don't get me wrong, Troy, if he is to be truly a rapist, then you know me, Troy. You know how I give it up with it. Let him burn, nigga. But what I'm saying is this: I'm not gonna judge this off of this because it seems too suspect for me. Y'all put this man away when he was about to make a power move, and the only person that could have made the power move was him in our community, in our culture right now. The only one. There's nobody else that can hold that clout and do what he's about to do with NBC. Nobody.
Listen, I don't disagree with that. I agree with that 100%. When things like that get ready to happen, people will dig up all kind of dirt on you.
Absolutely.
All kind of dirt, which is why sometimes, politicians, whatever, you got to get in front of it. I'm just saying, in one of those undisclosed or disclosed settlements, he said, listen, I gave her pills.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Doc, I don't know, maybe because we grew up in a different era, right? I've never forced a woman to drink so I could have, I've never tried to get a woman drunk so I could have sex with her. As a matter of fact, I'm a firm believer that
I think it's whack, to be honest. I hate drunk
sex.
sex.
If I can't just get the buns, if
right,
I can't get the buns off my spit, if I can't get them off my spit game, I don't want them.
Right, facts.
Now, I've never said, here, smoke this Chiba, smoke this reefer, smoke this L. Right now, if you want to smoke, that's on you.
Right.
Here it is. I've never laced it, nothing else.
I'm blowing. If you want to blow with me, it's on you. That's the vibe.
Yeah, it's on you. Right.
If you want to rock out with me, it's on you. But never on no force of hand. And that right there, like you said, Troy, that's the issue. Like if that be the issue, then you know me, I'm on Usher Raymond term. Let him burn. He should stay behind the wall. But what I'm saying is all of that to be if that is the truth, why y'all do it when y'all did it? That's the problem that I got. Like for every last woman, especially the women, like I know the Me Too movement is coming in, like it's easy to jump on, but it's like, yo, all this time that was between that from then until now, you waited until this opportune moment to come about. And that's my only judgment and my only skepticism about the situation, because it's like, if he did not make these power moves and this came about, I'd be like, yo, listen, Bill, you are wilding. No more pudding for you. Like you going down, Jack. And
let it be clear, and I speak for both myself and RJD and the Imperfect Fathers podcast. We support truthful accusations of women and men who have been raped, molested, sexually abused, verbally abused, physically abused.
Right.
We support that. 100% we support that. We support you in your truth.
In your truth.
Anyone out there, in your truth. In your truth. I support the justice system, right? When it works. Listen, I support the justice system when it doesn't work, because we can't have it both ways. And like I said, I'll stand firm on it. Ladies, if Bill did it to you, you have my deepest sympathies. You have my deepest condolences. I hope he burns in hell for it later. Right. But it's a win. It's a win for all the brothers out here who've been convicted and spending time in jail because they had a little 3 ounces of weed. Right? They got 10 years because they had a bag of weed. Like, right? Yo. All the bullshit laws that Bill Clinton supported, fucking putting brothers in jail. Listen, we got one out. OJ got out. Only thing I'm gonna say to Bill is, nigga, don't let nobody fool you and tell you that there's a pudding pop in a hotel room and you try and go get that shit back.
Yo, it's not yours. Okay,
it's not yours. Yeah, don't let nobody tell you there's some Xannies that somebody took from you back in the day and you trying to go get them back.
Yo, we left some Xannies in 1984 in this closet over there at this hotel. No, Bill, don't do that.
You blind bastard. Anyway,
let's move on. Cosby, man. But yo, so on a more serious note now, guys. A few weeks ago, a young man that I'd known for some time, had the opportunity to grow up a little bit, to see some things with it and have some experience with, happened to take his life. He blew his brains out. Right. Shout out, rest in peace, Suge.
Rest in peace. Prayers to the family.
Indeed, man. It made me really think, bro, because I realized that in the space that I'm in now, maturity and having more responsibilities, I can also take things on and wear them that really are not healthy for me. And I'm using this platform to also help free those things as well as in myself, because here I am now as a character and confidence building coach for men, right? And I pride myself on helping men get through things that are holding them back from being who they are. And here I am with a gentleman that actually can reach out to me, right? That knows my name, that knows of me, knows about me, and has access to me. And all this time he was suffering in silence to the point where he got tired of living and ended his life. And that to me kind of struck a nerve in me, because it's like, all right, now I have to feel like I have to turn up. I have to find out what's going on with not just myself and the guys around me, but the people that are near and dear to me, right? Just check in on them, because for this young brother to off his life right now, he was suffering for a very long time. No one just wakes up in the morning and says that's it, without having some kind of long agony or pain to have dealt with over a period of time. And one thing I'm going to say to every man out there, if you are right now currently suffering in silence, you're crying on the inside, you don't have to no more, King. You don't have to. I am here. Do you hear me? My platform, my life, for the rest of my life, my calling is for you. I'm here. My purpose, God has placed me on this earth so you do not have to continue to struggle in silence. I'm saying this right now, of course, it was a platform because I feel like I have to turn up, because there are men who are sitting right now in their homes contemplating on ending it, and in no actuality, for what? Because they're not being heard. They don't have the lanes. They don't have the means. It's not okay, y'all. And we can't sit back and live our comfortable lives and think everything is sweet, when meanwhile our brothers are hurting and suffering in silence and ending their lives.
And Doc, there is a number, and I'm looking for it on my phone now, and I'm gonna come back to you, that people can actually text who are experiencing emotional instability. like if you don't want to pick up the phone and call somebody, and there are a lot of people who just prefer kind of text sometimes. But I'm looking forward, as soon as I find it, I'm going to tell you what that number is, because I happen to see it someplace one day, and I said, well, let me see if this thing actually worked, and it did. But I'm gonna let you keep going while I look for this real quick.
Yeah, for sure. That's a phenomenal resource that we definitely you find we'll add inside of the comments of the podcast on YouTube, as well as in the comments on Apple Podcasts, so you guys can see it. That's catching us on the replay. But my heart goes out to you guys, man, because one thing I do understand is that I dealt with a lot of things that could have put me in the space of depression, right? There was a lot of times in my life where I really felt like I was slipping into those places where I couldn't come out of. And if I be completely transparent and truthful, there's days of a week currently where I don't feel like coming out of the house. I'll wake up on one day and don't feel like RJD. But guess what? I have a strong enough surround team around me, right? I have a strong enough circle around me that I can say, you know what? Listen, TR, I'm not good today, man. I'm not all right. My wife, I'm blessed. Hey, babe, you know what? I'm not myself today. I need some time. I need some help. But guess what, y'all? Out of all I just said to you about my circle being as strong as it is, they can't be strong if I don't let them know that I'm weak.
Absolutely.
My circle can't protect me. They can't hold me down. They can't hold me up if I don't let them know I'm getting weary. If I don't let them know that I'm losing strength and I'm tired and I'm getting weak. They are not mind readers, right? Yeah, now there's intuition. God can also give somebody intuition and all those things. But guess what? Why? Depend on it when you can open your mouth. Because the truth of the matter is, if I did not feel comfortable enough to call on my circle, why would they be my circle? If I couldn't be myself around them and tell them the truth about how I feel, why do I have them around me? You guys know who follow the podcast. And if you don't know, you'll hear it by the end of this podcast that I tell everyone to be good to yourself and the people around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, get those people from around you. Why do I say that? Because listen, it's no time to have someone around you that you can't trust. Everyone that I call that's in my circle is someone that's willing to carry my casket when I close my eyes for that final time. Every last one. Because I'm not this life we live is not for the faint of heart, and it's not a game. We call it a game, but in all actuality, it's not a game. It's real. And when you suffer in real life and reality, it hurts to the point where sometimes you might feel like you can't go through it alone, or you're not strong enough to deal with it. And in that space, that's when you're supposed to reach out to your peoples. And it's so crazy how we'll reach out, Troy. We'll reach out for things, for unnecessary things, right? We'll reach out like, oh, you know what? I'm struggling this week with my rent, a check. I pay a car note this week, or a light bill. We'll reach out for that, but we won't reach out and say, yo, emotionally, I'm not okay.
Yeah,
there's something wrong with that, especially around us men. But we got to break that, because the proof is in the pudding. If we don't, we end up with men with bullets in their head from their own guns.
Yeah. And Doc, let me just say, I've certainly been there, bro, where, man, I have had I have had thoughts of suicide. And I said it to you kings on a podcast not too long ago, or maybe we were talking offline. I have not carried my firearm since Super Bowl. Because I came home and I was in such an emotionally broken and bad place that I had to give it to my wife. I had to say, listen, take the bullets, put them in a different place, take the gun, put it in a different place. My mind was not in a good place. It wasn't, because I was in a place where I wanted to hurt someone else, and I wanted to hurt myself. I had the wherewithal to know what that felt like. And it's the second time I've had that feeling that I had to say, listen, here is my firearm.
Like, I'm not okay.
I cannot carry this thing right now because I can't carry the burden of what I feel. Until this day, I cannot even tell you where that firearm is in my house. I haven't asked for it. I haven't thought about it. Not that I'm certainly definitely in a better mental space, but it is, sometimes it's a reminder that, you know, it's an easy way for me. So I just leave it until I recognize that I'm in a better space. But I had the wherewithal to reach out and ask for help and reach out to my therapist and say, yo, I was struggling. And my therapist, who lives not too far from me, said, bro, next time you could have called me. Because I don't just got the office number, I got his personal number.
Right.
And he said, I'd have came and sat with you. I'd have came and fucked with you. So
and that right there, the importance about you be just open and saying it, right? And that's what I really want to drive home to any king out there that's suffering in silence. Please don't suffer in silence anymore. If you're gonna suffer out loud, right? Let someone know you're suffering. There's nothing wrong with not being okay. Let me say that again. There is nothing wrong with not being okay. There's nothing wrong with it. You're not expected to be okay at all times. It's a false reality for us to even sit here and pretend and believe that it's even possible. There's not one human being on this earth that is okay 24/7, 365 days of each year that they're alive. It's impossible.
Yeah. And Doc, let me just say the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255. So
hold
you
on,
want to put that?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. What's it again?
1-800-273-8255.
That's the
National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. And they're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
All right. Oh, oops, wrong one. Oh man, you got you right. Say it one more time, T. 1-800
273 8255. Listen, all podcasters, RJD did not pass typing in high school.
Yo, he ain't lying, y'all. I definitely didn't pass that class.
He went to summer school, third school. He went to school early for it. He stayed late, had detention.
Listen. I definitely didn't pass it, but I'm making enough money now to pay someone to do this for me at some point. National Suicide
Lifeline.
Yeah, guys. Pardon me on my slow typing over here. I do. I'm a little slow with it. All right. There we go. Boom. Sliding across the bottom. If you need that number, it is going across the bottom of the screen, guys. Please Do not allow your ego. Please do not allow your pride to take you off of this earth. Say that one more time. Please do not allow your ego or your pride to let you take yourself off of this earth. There's nothing wrong with not being okay. What are you saying, T?
Now, and I was going to say, if somebody needs the crisis text line, you can text home to 741-741, and someone will respond. So I'm gonna say it again. If you need to text, if you don't want to call and you need to text home, HOME, to 741-741. Yeah, it's important, man. Mental health, and you know how I feel about mental health. You know how I feel about mental health support. It's close to my heart.
So I put that right up as well. So if you need to, fellas, the numbers are right there.
And ladies. And kids. And mothers.
And everyone. This is we predominantly speak to the fathers and the men on this platform, but to everyone under the sound of our voice. You catch this, whenever you catch this, understand that there is help for you. You don't have to suffer alone anymore. You're no longer alone. There are people in this world who care, who are sent by God purposely to be here just for you. So you're worth it. You are worth it, and you belong here on this earth. There is something that God has given you that distinctly that only you can give to this earth. Only you can bring to this universe. And sad to say, the young king I'm talking about, he will never be able to give the earth what the earth needed. So think about that. You have something that the world needs. Don't close your eyes for the final time without giving the world what it actually needs. So that was one of my points of this week. That was close to my heart. But now, after I've shed my love and I've shed my sentiments, it's time to kick a little ass.
We got time? We got like a few minutes.
Yeah, I got a few minutes to bust some ass. Now let me be very, very, very clear. There's two things I'm going to talk about right now. I'm getting sick and tired, right? And hear me good. I'm getting sick and tired of having to explain myself about who I'm talking to and who I'm speaking for. So right now, in this moment of this podcast, I'm going to take this opportunity to clarify myself. Now, I have a therapist and I have coaches who both have explained to me and showed me on repeat that I have no longer need to explain myself to anyone about anything that I'm doing. I'm past that space of my life. But guess what? I'm going to revert for a few seconds, only to bring some clarity to ones out there who might just need some in the space. What I say across this platform, which is my own, or any other platform that I get on, I speak from my place of my heart, my experiences, what I've been through, who I am currently, and where I'm going. That's who I'm speaking. That's what I'm speaking from. Now, who I'm speaking to, that might differ based upon what I'm saying. But the majority of what I say across the airwaves are based to men, right? Men who are trying to be a better version of themselves. Men who are trying to be an upright version of who they weren't yesterday. I'm speaking to those gentlemen. Now, who I'm speaking for, I'm also speaking for the men who are really, and I stress, really doing the job for their families. For the men who are really getting it out the mud for their families. I'm not talking to the faggots of the world, right? I'm gonna use some words. No, I'm gonna use some words. No, I'm gonna use some words, Troy, that's gonna be offensive, and I'm doing it on purpose because I want people to understand that I'm not gonna be played with like this. When it comes down to my brand and what I do and who I help and who I serve, I'm tired of explaining myself. So I'm gonna say some things that's gonna be derogatory. I already said that, and I already prayed to God for forgiveness. So understand, I'm saying this right now because I'm doing it for a purpose. So all you ones out there that want to play with me, you're gonna learn tonight that I'm not one to play with because I'll address you publicly. Now, I had an opportunity a few times this week to be addressed by people that really had a problem with something I had to say. And I said to myself, wow, what did I possibly say that can possibly draw some negative feedback or some backlash? So I went back into a few episodes of a few things I've done, and this is not even normally my behavior, but I did it. And then I came back after the conversations and realized that the things that they were triggered by that I said was absolute truth, and not just the truth, but there was my truths. And every other man that's trying to be a better version than what he used to be. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this one more time. If I say something that triggers you or makes you feel a certain kind of way, especially across my platforms, when I'm definitely trying to speak life into men and bring a better version of themselves out from under the dirt that they've been through, and that triggers you, male or female, there's some work you need to do. There's some personal work you need to do. And if you get your ego and your pride out the way, you might get on my line and ask for some help. Because not only do I know about it, I've been there. I've been there where my insecurities made fools of me. I've been there where my own conscience did nothing but torment to me, to where I came out in the public and made a complete ass of myself. So I'm saying this one time and one time only. Check yourself privately before you come to my DMs, before you come to my inbox, before you come to my phone. Because the same way I'm addressing it right now on my platform publicly, the next time I feel like somebody violates me or come in my DM the wrong way, sideways, I'm going to address you publicly. And I mean that. So to everyone out there thinking that RJD is this nice guy, my name is the Imperfect Gentleman. That means there's still some things that God's not done with me yet. So don't find out about those the wrong way. You dig what I'm saying?
You know what? I have a problem when people make being a nice guy a weakness. I have a problem when people make being a gentleman a weakness. I have a problem when people make being considerate of other people and their feelings and their pain and their passions a weakness. We are not people who are designed in God's image to walk over people, to speak negatively to people, to speak down to people, to torment people, to tear them down. We really are designed to support each other and lift each other up. The problem is sometimes you have to look at who you are as a person to say, do I possess what it takes? Do I have the mental capital? Do I have the emotional bandwidth to give another person what they need? But you got to look within first, because a lot of times we can't give it to ourselves.
And that's the thing, Troy, that we get so caught up in, especially as men. And I'm speaking to the men out there who are struggling, right? Like, let's get that clear. To the men who are struggling, like, yo, you have to work on yourself first before you get involved with somebody else. Before you get involved with somebody and then create another life. Because what you're doing is you're compounding your issues. If you don't take care of you first and then you go get involved with somebody else, you're only going to attract yourself in another version. So now you have 2 times the problems to deal with. And then you go and create another life. Listen, don't do it. To the men out there who don't have families yet, that are not emotionally available yet, that are unstable, excuse me, do yourself a favor, do your wife a favor, and your future life a favor, and get yourself right first. There's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong with getting yourself together first. If anything, it's the right thing to do. Now, don't get me wrong. You're never going to be perfect, a perfect situation to go meet the perfect person. That's never going to happen. What I'm saying is you don't have to be as damaged as you are walking into a relationship and continue to proceed that way. You don't have to.
But here's the thing, Doc, and I would say this. If man or woman, if every relationship that you get in, you find fault with the other person, if every job you go to, you find fault with that employer, if every store or business or establishment that you frequent, you find something wrong with the customer service or the product,
right.
it's you, not them.
Right. It's definitely you.
It's you, not them. And if the
Fact.
people around you aren't telling you it's you and not them, there's something wrong with the people you surround yourself with. Because what you're doing is surrounding yourself with people who validate your insecurity.
Facts.
Listen to me. What you're doing is surrounding yourself with people who validate your insecurity. And they're not willing to tell you the truth about who you are.
Facts.
You know, I was reading this article. How much time we got? We got a few minutes. I was reading this article today. I just happened to scroll across it on Instagram or something. And the dude was talking about all women who get on Instagram and shake their titties and their ass and pop their pussies are sluts.
Oh, whoa. Watch your mouth, nigga. No, they're not.
Listen, listen.
They are beautiful souls.
My thought process around that is you are insecure. Those are the women that you wish that you had the courage to talk to. And when you do talk to them, you have nothing of substance and of relevance to gain their attention.
He needs to come see me.
Don't knock the way this woman makes her money.
Please don't.
Because at the end of the day, you don't know what else she brings to the world.
And yo, my thing is this, Troy, even if she is the biggest slut in the world, why do you care?
Why do you care?
Word. Like she's not slutting out on you. She's not doing any of those things to you. That could be the problem. And this is what I've learned, man. If you got a problem with the way somebody else eating their food, stop watching them. If you're getting tired of how somebody's making their money, mind your business. Like,
and to all the girls on Instagram who are busting it wide open, I'm giving free hugs if you need one.
yo, Troy about to get slapped. Where Lisa at?
Bring it in, my sister. Bring it in.
Yo, listen, man. Because we are coming down to the last few minutes, and I really want this to make sure everyone understands that take care of your insecurities before they make a fool of you. Because what you don't realize is what you think that is the right way of thought, what you think what you're doing is the right way, and the people around you, and they're telling you is not, majority of the time, like Troy said, is you, and you need to check yourself. So don't let the things that you don't check you. Because I'm telling you, you will go to great extents and great distances just to embarrass yourself. How do I know this? I watched it happen for the last 2 weeks. I've watched men and women get on my line and embarrass themselves because of their insecurities. Don't be that individual. If anything, if you get on my line and say, you know what, RJ, I'm insecure about being a man. There's some things I need help with. I'm here for you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to point fingers nor laugh at you. Because at the end of the day, I know what it truly feels like. And I'm telling you, you don't have to suffer no longer. Especially when I'm sitting here with arms wide open, just here to help. But what I'm not going to do is let myself, my platform, or my name, nor my brand be made a mockery of. So with that being said, if you get on my line, if you get on my calendar, understand, come correct or don't come at all. Because I'm not playing with you.
Yeah. And listen, we're not out here doing the Kevin Samuels, ladies and gentlemen. We ain't out here trying to tear nobody down. We ain't out here talking about some BS about, your personal worth and whatnot. And let me just say this. Surround yourself with people who desire to keep your love tank full.
Facts.
Not 3/4, not a quarter. They ain't got you riding around here with your love tank on 1/8 of a tank.
Right.
fuck with people who keep your love tank full. They support you emotionally, right? They give you the things that you need in order to be a better person. Not false things, because we have a lot of people who give us false things.
Right.
But those are the type of people that you want to surround yourself with, who look to make you better, who hold you accountable.
Listen, this week's episode, guys, we're a few days late, but as you can see, the content is still as pure as possible.
Content ain't short, bro.
Nah, definitely ain't. Definitely ain't. So listen, guys, we appreciate everyone who stayed with us for the entire podcast this week. Yes, we are a few days late, but we're still coming to give you that content that we always give you each and every week. We normally do it on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're streaming on all platforms. So if you don't catch us right here live every Sunday, at 8 p.m., you can definitely catch us on the replays on YouTube. Also, wherever your podcast is streamed at, whether it be Apple, Spotify, Google, you name it. We are all across all platforms. So please spread the word. Let people know that we are out here giving this content about just being a positive, better version of ourselves every single day, as men, as fathers, as husbands, as leaders of our community. This is what it's all about. I want it to be known that everybody out there, you're valuable, yo, and you're worth everything that God has for you. All you got to do is stand up and go out there and go get it. To the men out there who are struggling, don't suffer in silence no more, kings. You have resources. There are ways. There are so many opportunities and extensions of help and service for you. Be a better version of yourself and stay on this earth so your children reap the benefits. It's not about us no more, y'all, especially the men who've made lives. It's about the lives that we've created. So with that being said, y'all, don't forget the power and the magnitude of who you are as men, as fathers and husbands. Because remember, to the world, you're just a dad. But to your family, you are the world. Don't forget that. So you guys know my energy, you know my vibe. And I spoke about it earlier. So if you're still with us, be good to yourself and the ones around you. Let me say it one more time because it hit harder this week. Be good to yourself and the ones around you. Check on the ones around you. Reach out to them. Make sure they're all right. But if you can't be good to the ones around you and you've tried, get those folk from around you. Yo, this has been RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman. And this has been the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. We thank you guys so much for joining us. Y'all be blessed. Peace.